Dry. Next step is red guard. Add this trim here. Here it is the next day. If anybody's wondering if Red Guard actually really works, check this out. Look at this niche. You can't even see the seam line of where my cement board was, my hardy backer. That's how thick this stuff went on. You can kind of see it right here, but faintly. But it's like kind of like rubber. Here's a piece. You can see it's very flexible. Kind of like a vinyl or rubber. So I definitely think it's a good product. So the theory of it is if water gets into your grout line, it soaks into your grout, because your grout, if it's not sealed, the water can seep in and then it gets behind your cement board, and then over time it's supposed to be able to, you know, stay wet under there, and then it won't dry out, and then it can go behind your wall and cause mold and all kinds of other problems. And this is just supposed to stop that from happening. So now when the water goes into the grout line, it stops at this red barrier and it can't go any further. There's my niche. I just used the regular premix stuff for this one because it's going over sheetrock. That's the one piece of sheetrock that I left on the back for it. Alright, got some granite cut here, and what I did was I just cut out a 6x6 piece, and then that became my corner piece. I don't have no seam by cutting it like that. You could either do it like this, or you can cut it at a 45-degree angle like this. Some people do that, and then it's a little bit easier that way, but this one looks more clean. Less seams the better, especially this is the entry to my shower. Alright, so I tried cutting granite with my tile cutter, my tile saw, and it was not halfway through was jamming. So I think my blade is either dull or something. So I went and picked up a new rigid diamond blade for tile, and this is the same size, 7-inch. And we'll see if it cuts any better. It says it's for marble and granite. It doesn't say porcelain. Porcelain's pretty hard, but yeah, I mean, you could see the little diamonds in it. Didn't look bad, but we'll see. This one's a little bit taller of a blade. Alright, so that new blade is cutting really good. It's cutting the granite just perfectly. I'm setting up my granite the way I want it, and it's just gonna go just the way you see it around the shower base. And I'm gonna have a black French glass doors that opens here, so it's gonna match that. Then I'm gonna use a black trim here on the side there, and one on that side, and then one on top. And then around here, and then around this thing, this niche, I'm going to be putting granite at the bottom. I have to cut this piece, and one on top, and then 2 pieces on the side. Alright, so I want to talk about this niche and the angle that you need for it. Okay. In the other video, I talked about how I needed to have a slant on it, so the water, if it gets in here, it can drain down the niche. Okay. So I did a little bit too much, but that's okay, because you really want this to be angled the way it is with the Red Guard. So water does get behind or inside here, it will drain with the angle of the Red Guard that I have it. If I would have did it flat and then angled it, it's gonna have to go through, it'll fall through the grout, and when it hits the grout, the water won't be able to fall down, because it'll go through the grout and it'll be flat, so the water will be stuck there, and then you'll have mold and problems. This way you don't have any problems, because you got your angle already there. And it's not like the slant that I put on is so much that a bottle can't be, you see, a bottle can be put up there. So I'm probably just gonna leave it where it's at. I mean, it's about a quarter inch. And you know, see, a cup can get up in there. Took a shower and you had a beer, put it there. I don't know about you, but I'm pretty excited to get this done. I don't know why, but I'm excited. Can't wait to do it. I mean, look at that. Awesome. It's beautiful. And I'm using all the right tools this time because I've done tile work in the past. I did some in my laundry room and it had a lot of lippage because I didn't use this system that I'm using now. This system is I'll show you what it is. It's made by LASH, or actually it's made by QEP, or QEP, however you pronounce that. And it's a part A and part B. The A is the little clips, and part B is the wedges. And then there's a little crimping tool that I bought that comes with it. So when I'm ready to put the thin set down, and let's say I have all this thin setted and it's just sitting there. All you do is you shove these in here and until they click, and then they actually have the tool and you crimp it down so it actually will pull the tile lippage flat. So you don't have that where you feel like right here there's a little lippage. As soon as I put this wedge in here and use my crimping tool, this thing will suck that low, it'll suck the low side up. The low side of the tile will get sucked up to the other side. So that's what's perfect about this. Sorry, I haven't slept all night, so I'm very tired, but I really want to get this done. All right, tiling today. I'm going to do the floor first. I already got my granite around the shower area. Now we're going to do a white marble, and we have it laid out before we install it so we can know what it's going to look like. So I know my door is going to open up right here where these three ones are here. That'll be what you see when you open the door. So that's what I went off by. And me and my daughter, we were just messing around with this, moving them here and there. So what we did was got like a gray pattern. So kind of, and the lighter ones right here. And then if you look at it from this side, you can see there's light and gray everywhere. It's just like really mixed and matched. But that's where we thought it came out good. There's some of them got a little bit of yellow in them. Some of them have gray. Some of them are whiter than others. So it doesn't really matter how you put them. It's just preference. But to me, they look beautiful no matter what. And it does look different with the light on it from when it's dark. When you make it dark, it looks a little bit different as well. When it's darker, you can just see the lighter and the darker shades of the marble in the different veins. Okay, so now I'm going to cut out my tile for my toilet flange. A real easy way to do it is lay your tile in place. Okay, make sure it's lined up where you're going to have it. Mark right here. So this is the edge of this one here, and then do your best to mark it out. If it's a little bigger, it's okay. Toilet will cover it. And then I found out that my wet saw, the old blade, is exactly the same size as that. So what I'll do, use that as a template. Eyeball it right there, and then I'll just trace over it. All right, and then we'll cut that out. It's going to be a little bit hard because you can see how skinny this is. So if this breaks off from here, you probably could just do a cut right here, because that is going to be covered up by the toilet, the inner piece. So it ain't going to matter, so you could just do the roundness from here. notches like that, and when you go over them a second time, usually they'll break. Sorry, my OCD is getting to me. That's pretty much it. It doesn't have to be perfect. Alright, let's test fit this. First try, boom. Alright, for this half moon cut here, you can see I ran a bunch of ridges in it. Just take a little hammer, just give it a little tap. Alright, and at that, if you want to make it prettier, you can run it in the machine again. Alright, let's see if this last piece fits. I'll put my spacers as if I was laying this out. Should only one there. Oh, a little bit off right here. Right here. Cut. Alright, let's try this again. Perfect. Alright, so how am I getting this to go straight? What I did was I put the laser level right here on my first tile, and I ran it all the way down. Okay, and then after I got it straight, because a laser level can go this way or that way and still be straight, I made sure that the tile was even on that side, and then I put a tile over here. Okay, and then you measure from the wall. This wall's a little out of whack from that one, so you can't really measure the wall and expect that to be straight either. But then you got to go over to this wall, and this wall's wonky too, because this was two different separate rooms, so the plaster is completely off. But then I did the laser level over here, and it, can you turn the light, look? Yeah, Alexa. See, now this laser is perfectly straight all the way across. So I'm straight on the tile here, straight over there. When they're together, they're pretty straight, and then you measure off the wall. You get them as close as you can. You know, I got 7 3/4 and 7 3/4, so that's pretty close to the wall on both sides. And then my bump outs, I think a ½ inch off on one side or a 1/4 inch off, so I have to kind of just not worry about that. That'll be behind the toilet. But anyways, that's the only way I can think of to get this straight, because the walls, I can't go by the walls. I just have to go by the tile itself to be straight with where it is with the shower, with the granite over there. So I'm just lining up my granite all the way around, and then just working off that granite coming this way and making sure it's straight at the same time. Because if you're off by 1/16 of an inch, by the time it gets over here, it's a 1/4 or a ½ inch off. That's how much off it is, just by that little bit off. So as long as we're straight here, if you look at the window, you stand in front of the window and it looks straight by the eye as well, then you're good. And you measure it and it's pretty straight. But if you come over here and you stand here and it's looking like this or like that, then you know you got an issue on your straight line. So visually, you got to use your eyes as well as the straight line, because like I said, this straight line, you could turn it this way and it's still straight, but you know you're not straight. Even though it's straight slanted, it's not straight. And then you can go that way too. So you want to just find that sweet spot. All right, this is what we got done tonight. I mixed up the thin set a little bit too watery, so when I first started, it was a hassle. I had a lot of trouble because it kept on oozing through the crack. And then about halfway through, it dried out a little bit more, and it was a little bit easier because it wasn't oozing through my grout line so much. And yeah, so So try not to mix your thin set too watery. But it does give you a lot more time to, you know, set your tile. It doesn't dry as fast. Alright, I'm back from Home Depot. I was up all night working on this tile. And then I ran out of the clips, the leveling clips. So I had to go back to Home Depot. Luckily they opened at 6 in the morning. It was like 5:30 when I ran out. Starting here is first cut. All the way around. And all these black granite are cuts. I'll cut that one later after I finish plumbing the vanity in.